Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Donna and I make faith-based content here on YouTube. If this is something that you're interested in, please keep watching. Lately we've been talking about stewardship and I have a testimony to share. I know it's a long-awaited testimony and I'm glad that God has given me the opportunity to finally share it. I'll be reading from a little notepad that I have here, and basically it's just about my stewardship testimony. So just a little background. I'm someone who was generally shy growing up, so not very talkative. I was someone who did not want to be in a platform where they were in front of many people. I did not want to be vocal. I preferred to be in my own little corner, keep things to myself. But of course, God created opportunities for me to be out there. I remember some years ago at around grade 5, my class had a singing competition, and I was actually studying in a corner. So there I was studying in a little corner, and I just heard people rounding up a competition. I didn't even know all these things were going on in class, and I was asked to join in on the competition. And so I sang a little song, and I was actually voted as one of the 2 winners of that competition, and that's when I realized that I could sing. So this is 10 years old. I did not know that I could actually sing, and I was excited. I joined in the school choir at 12. Most of the seniors anyway were in the school choir, so most of my class was in the school choir. And in the school choir, that is when my talent actually blossomed. So I blossomed into someone who sang, and actually I used to sing in the shower, but in the school choir, that is when I discovered that I was more of an alto soprano singer. So I sing both soprano and alto, mostly alto. And yeah, when it comes to my aspect of speaking in public, I would say my talent was built from the time I was very young. So it starts from, I would say, story writing, prose, poetry. So I used to write. I was more of the silent type of person, like I said. I used to love reading, being in my own little corner, writing stories, compositions. I was actually top of my class when it comes to English and things like that. I have to add that this is not an opportunity for me to boast. I'm not boasting in my capabilities. I'm just showing how God used my capabilities for His glory. So I was top of my class when it comes to composition writing, the English language, prose and poetry. I found myself winning competitions from the time I was 8, but I did not necessarily speak in public. However, when I look back at it, God was actually using those things to groom me. So He was using those capabilities, those abilities in the English language to groom me. It was much later on, when I was around 13, 14 years old, that I explored things like quiz club. So I was part of the French club. That didn't really work out. I didn't really feel like I would use the French language in any way. And so I decided to join the quiz club. And so that opened me to the opportunity of actually speaking in front of a lot of people. So joined the quiz club at 13. Around 14, I joined debate and public speaking in the Interact Club. So that definitely opened me to speaking, to using my skills in English writing, in prose and poetry. And that's how my gift blossomed. That's how my skill in speaking blossomed. From those capabilities of writing, they developed or were used in speaking. So that is mainly the background. That is a background of my story. Now, when it comes to current practice, over the years, I found myself speaking quite a lot. So at around 17, 18, I was a prayer leader for our youth group in church for a very short while anyway. And then much later on, I was asked to lead intercession at 18 years old in church. It was quite an honor for me to do that. So I used to go to a different church from the one that I go to now, because I've relocated from my home country. And I was going to a certain church there, and I would say that the leaders, my sisters who are also leaders in the church, the pastors groomed me into someone who was prayerful. My aunt played a huge role as well. And this helped me to blossom into someone who was prayerful, but also into someone who had the courage to speak in front of people. When it comes to the musical side of things, I always had an interest in playing musical instruments, but unfortunately I didn't have the platform to learn how to play musical instruments, so I stuck to singing. And I have to say I'm a very good singer. I'm happy about that. Currently, I sing in my choir. I also speak at local engagements at my church. So if there's a place where I've been asked to speak, I actually do preach in church. I'm asked to convene in services. I speak on this platform. This platform has actually helped me a whole lot. I found myself speaking here, and that is what has polished me into becoming the speaker that I am. Now, why am I talking about all this? There are key aspects, there are key lessons when it comes to my testimony. So the first thing is practice makes perfect. So I did not become a public speaker overnight. I did not become a singer overnight. Fine, there were talents that I was born with. Some of them, like the singing aspect, is something that I didn't even know I could do. But for me to be able to hold a key, for me to be able to sing in a certain note, for me to be able to speak on certain topics and to speak in a certain way, it all came from practice. Public speakers will tell you that there are different ways in which one can speak. You can rhyme. So this comes even from poetry. You can actually rhyme, or you can be factual. You can be someone who's just a motivational or inspirational speaker. You can actually have a mix of all these characteristics when you are speaking. When it comes to singing, you might be a jazz singer, you might be into hip hop, you might be into whatever genre. I find that I'm someone who's actually into multiple genres because of my exposure. I don't discriminate any different genre, but it's through practice. Another thing that I realized is that I'm influenced by what I listen to and what I read. So it's very important that you know that the places that you spend time around or spend time in have a huge influence on the things that you will say, or the things that you will do, or the things that, basically you're influenced by what you spend your time doing, whom you spend your time around. So when it comes to my writing, when it comes to my writing of songs and music, my music has evolved from teenage type of music to adult type of music. My music has also evolved from worldly type of music to gospel, to things that worship God. And I will say that there's a difference, of course, between if I were to use the word worldly, it would seem like there are certain songs that are very evil or not of that are terrible. There's certain songs that we can actually listen to and say, this is a lovely song. It's not necessarily a song that worships God, but it's a song that's beautiful. So I don't want to discriminate against certain types of music. But what I'm saying is that through practice and through the time that I spend, I realized that there are certain things that influence the type of person that I am, and influence the words that I speak, and influence the things that I do. So you have to stand guard, be vigilant when it comes to your gift, be vigilant when it comes to your talent. Not all things are of God, not all things are good, not all things edify a person when it comes to their talents. Also stand guard when it comes to your gifts and your talents in terms of what they bring out of you. Some of them will bring good, some will bring bad, some of them will change you. There is a talent that I haven't mentioned here that I thought I should mention at this point in time. So I'm someone who is a prophetic voice, right? So I'm a dreamer. Not only am I a dreamer, I get words of wisdom, I get words of prophecy. I'm someone who actually hears from God in the spirit, and obviously this is something that I'm growing in. So that's another point. we are all growing in our talents. Just because I've been speaking for a long time, or writing music for a long time, or prophesying for a long time, doesn't mean that I've reached the highest level that one can reach. We should all aspire to grow. We should all aspire to improve. There's so many ways in which as a person you can improve. And the moment you think that you can't improve, you've reached a level of pride. So that's another talent that I have, a talent that is definitely from God. It's not something that I can attribute to say that this is of me. This is something that I did to get this is something that God gave to me. I'm a prophetess in my own right. And I will say, I have to add this first, that anyone who boasts should boast in the Lord. So I'm boasting in the Lord. I'm not saying that I'm the best prophet out there or whatnot. This is just me acknowledging the gift that I have, that I was given by God. And I believe that a lot of people are prophets out there. A lot of people have got gifts out there which they don't know about or are sitting on. Another key aspect that I wanted to add is looking down upon oneself. So there were many times that I looked down upon myself when it came to my gifts. I was not, like I said, I did not want to be seen speaking in front of people. I just used to go blank. I was very shy, I was very timid, and I just didn't want to find myself speaking in front of a lot of people. It was very hard. I used to imagine how other people did it. But by the grace of God, somehow, well, I'll say by the grace of God, I was able to practice. I was able to meet people who brought me up in the way of the Lord. So, for example, in my church, someone mentioned my YouTube channel, mentioned that, oh, Donna's got a YouTube channel. And that is how I was led to my first speaking engagement. This is my current church, not the one that I grew up in. And I've got so many people who have brought my name forward and said, Donna is good at speaking. Donna is good at this. Donna is good at that. Do you think Donna would be able to speak at this place? So this is not all my doing, but by the grace of God, I've had destiny helpers. So you will have, identify those people who really care about you or who are for you. So you will find that there are people who are destiny helpers who will help you to reach your goal, and be grateful for them. Show appreciation. Sometimes you may not always be able to show appreciation because of the financial state that you're in, the emotional state, or just not your realization. Like, you won't realize it at the time that, oh, this person is a destiny helper. But just be grateful for those people because they are hard to find. Also, apart from destiny helpers and people who actually create opportunities for you, sometimes you need to create opportunities for yourself. If you know you've got a talent, if you know you've got a gift of ushering, hospitality, cooking, gardening, if you know you've got a talent of cleaning, if you know you've got a talent of speaking, like myself, of baking, if you know you've got a talent of, say, driving, you're a good driver and you want to be escorting people to certain places, if you know you're a good listener, if you know you are good at drawing, I could list all sorts of things. But if you know you've got a certain talent, even the very small talent that you look down upon, if you know you've got that talent, then you might as well say it, speak up for yourself, help out the community. Because sometimes people don't identify talents until you speak up and say, I can do this. And it has happened even to me sometimes. I've had to speak up and say, I'm capable of doing this. I can do this. So don't look down upon yourself. Instead, lift yourself up, as in lift your name up. Right? We're not saying that you should be someone who's overly zealous or who's faking it, because you can't fake talents that you don't have. But try to be someone who is honest about what God has given you, honest about the capabilities that God has given you, and that way you can help other people. I just wanted to end on a note of encouragement. Stewardship is about protecting the things that God has given you. It is about being consistent. It's about practice. I can't speak and say I'm perfect in all of these things. I'm not very consistent in a lot of things. Sometimes I'm not able to juggle things properly. Sometimes I'm not able to juggle my calendar. At times I've got the weakness even of taking on more than I can handle. Sometimes I'm lazy. Sometimes I don't listen when I'm given advice, even by God Himself. But as people, it should be our mandate to please Him. We should seek to please God. He rewards those who diligently seek Him. So by seeking God, you are doing the things that He's called you to do, taking care of the earth, showing love to others, being friendly to other people, and trying to live in harmony with other people. That is all that I had to share with you. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if it inspired you, please share with somebody else. I know it's a bit different, but I thought I would inspire you with a snippet of my life and how stewardship has been very influential, how stewardship has helped me to be the person who I am today. Thank you so much. I will see you in the next one. Bye. In addition to the video, I thought it would be important just to add that it's important or nice to have trainings, certifications, things that will improve your skill. So you can book yourself for some educational courses. You can get certifications, look for people to teach you so that you improve that skill. Practice doesn't help if you don't know how you're going to do whatever you want to do. So that's something that I just wanted to add on. I hope you admire the things that I've shown you. These are actually the works of my hands. So from decor to cooking and baking, all sorts of things that God has given me the gifts to do, which I also intend to use in His house and for His glory. That's all I had to share with you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I wish you a beautiful day. Bye.